decide who lives and who dies.
He was being asked, "What do you want for Christmas?" And
That
was
is
his
true.
answer.
Mm-hmm. That would be a good present, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, welcome everybody who is not here yet. Welcome to TMI, where we talk about a Type Moon related thing every week. I'm Cherry, and the voice that occasionally chimes in is Azure.
I'm extremely unknowledgeable about this kind of stuff.
So we're going to be talking specifically about Grand Order, specifically about the Christmas events. In fact, an English event is going on right now. Nightingale's Christmas, in fact. But we'll get to her eventually. Because we have to go through several years of Santas before we get to Santa Nightingale.
Mm-hmm. Because, as we all know, the real Santa is inside of all of us.
Yes.
And in Grand Order's case, it's inside a bunch of cute waifus.
Yes. That is true. True facts.
You remember there was a theory during the early days of the game that the Christmas servant would be Iskander because he was a rider.
Oh, I remember the good old days back when we had theories. Back when we just didn't just throw everything out into the garbage because anything we theorize ends up being crazy enough for the truth. Hello, Love Turtle. Hello.
Back when things made sense.
Back when things made sense. Back before Lost Belts happened. Back before Christmas and Santas became a thing. But I have to find Christmas paper. Anyway. So I guess we should start off by theories for the first one. First part. Why is it that Saint Nicholas is not in Fate Grand Order? Because he's too powerful, guys. We wouldn't be able to control Santa Claus, or AKA Saint Nicholas. He just gained too much power through the power of everybody celebrating Christmas, because Christmas is the most celebrated holiday in the world. So
he's more powerful than Jesus.
He probably is more powerful than Jesus when you think about it.
I mean, going by Type Moon's rules, he absolutely is stronger than Jesus.
He's stronger than he would be stronger than Jesus. I believe more people believe in Santa Claus probably than Jesus Christ.
Which is funny because I actually do believe that, like, historically speaking, there is evidence that Jesus was a real person.
Yeah, they're historically.
Although I guess Saint Nick was a real person as well.
Yeah, Saint Nick was also.
I believe he punched the guy.
Yeah. But of course, there's also a bunch of other legends also that revolve around Santa Claus besides Saint Nicholas in general. So there's that, you know. So he's like an amalgamation at point of a bunch of different urban legends that
basically
then became Santa Claus. So I guess Santa would either be an alter ego or a writer.
He would probably have two forms.
Sons
of Servants have two forms. I'm sure he would as well.
Yeah. Yeah. But he'd probably be the Grand Writer, you know, because he's. I mean, when you think about it, he's the person who can, like, bend space-time and deliver presents to every single child in the world. So therefore, he must be the fastest writer ever.
Do you just want to call it now?
Yeah.
And say that the Grand Rider is going to end up being Saint Nick.
Yeah, the Grand Rider is going to end up being Saint Nick, guys. I'm calling it now. Or at least he's a high candidate, if that's the case. Because there can be more than one. Although they just can't be summoned at the same time, you know? Anyway, so let's first talk about...
I was remembering, I was trying to find there was an SNL skit from years and years ago where, like, the host is, like, basically, I guess he's doing the, what is the name of the story where it's like, Merry Christmas to all and to all good night? But you know the story I'm talking about.
That was, from... you know, that Christmas story. I woke from... I heard the clatter. Yeah,
what was it called? Anyway, so the host is telling this story to these kids, but he keeps interjecting with, like, all of this, like, horrible stuff. And, like, one of the things is like, hey, by the way, kids, did you know that in order for Santa to go all around the world, he would have to go millions of miles per hour and would burn up in the atmosphere and explode?
It's fine. He warped space-time, like in some of those Christmas movies where Santa actually has a device that lets him stop time to deliver the children.
Mm-hmm. But not an elf, though. An elf, he just has a really supercharged engine.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there you go, guys. That's the reason why St. Nicholas would not be in Fate Grand Order. He's just too powerful. We can't hold him. We wouldn't... He'd just destroy us all. Alright. Let's move on to the first Santa Claus that we got in Type Moon. So our first Santa Claus was, of course, our main cash cow. Our main cash cow, Artoria. But not just it. Not just Artoria. We will have to go for her even bigger cash cow version, her alter self. So
her sexy self.
Her sexy alter self, which this form has been fondly called Santa Alter.
Which, you know, was less confusing when there was only one alter who was a Santa.
Yeah, it was less confusing once upon a time. So this was like back in the day. I believe this was like I want to say it's like the second event that Grand Order like officially had.
Probably. I think that the first was in like Halloween.
The first was Halloween, and then they might have had like a Dongo one, but that was kind of a crappy
Well, no,
event.
it wasn't. Oh, actually, now that I think it wasn't the first event like the Nero Festival.
Maybe.
Because that one didn't have a servant that you got. It was a craft essence.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the Nero Festival was the first event.
Yeah. So this was like really beginning events. So back in the early days of Grand Order, the events were all just kind of played for the lulz more than anything. Mm-hmm. You'll notice that the style of writing for events changes dramatically as time goes on.
It's like, you know how it's like, for those of you who have watched Gintama, you have the crazy antics and then you have the serious stuff. Yeah. This was the crazy antics.
Yes.
Like the fourth wall breaking shit.
Yeah. I don't have any eggnog. I'm sorry. I drank it all this morning.
You'll never take me alive!
I drank it all.
I can't have it. No one can!
So you're probably wondering why is Arturia Alter being Santa Claus? That doesn't seem to fit in her personality. So apparently, according to her bio, is that she wanted to improve her image. So what better way was it to improve your image than to become Santa Claus? You know, get along with all the kids and stuff like that.
Back in the, although the funny thing is, I don't think there were a lot of kids in Grand Order at the time.
No, I don't think there was.
I think there maybe Nursery Rhyme and maybe Jack, maybe.
But yeah, let's read off what's some of her. Like, it was a really random event. It was just basically the event like can be summarized as, oh, Arturia is going around giving presents away. She gives a crappy present to every person. They piss them off, and then they fight. That's the story of this Christmas event.
Yeah, doesn't she meet up with, like, it was like Cuchulainn, Robin Hood, and I think Emmia.
Yeah.
And like she kills all three of them. Like, it was something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember the specifics, but I do know that there was a bit of bloodshed.
Yeah. So basically, here's like the information from her card. So, all of the presents are hand-packed. She spent a whole year of her savings for what's in her Christmas pack. That explains the terrible gifts. So anyway, her height is 154 centimeters, and she's 52 kilograms. The source is from Miss Almost Weekly Santa Altar. Her region is from Finland, allegedly. Her alignment is lawful good. Gender female, and because she has completely turned into Santa Claus, her personality has changed in various ways.
Oh, I just realized, like, there was, you might not remember this, but like one of the things was that like Darius was like, it was like adult Darius, but he was being treated like he was 3 years old.
Yes.
There was also a drunk Jean K.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It was Robin Hood, it was Emmia, and it was David.
Yeah.
Those were the three people she killed.
Yeah. So here's the next part of the thing. Although she has changed into rider class, it is not like there has been any dramatic changes. The increased weight accounts for the weight of the presents. The lack of futility in her behavior and the cool-headed character are a close resemblance to Alter, but the admiration towards Santa Claus that lies in her root makes her a little more kind. So she's, I guess this is what we mean by like it's a full this was a full-on parody thing, because this version of her Alter form is kind of like how she's portrayed in almost every parody that Alter shows up, which is
like the time when she was a maid.
Yeah.
Carnival Phantasm.
And that time she became a maid in the actual summer event. And she teamed up with Nero. The sleigh that
I think she's the only person who could put up with Nero's haughtiness.
Yeah.
I don't think normal Saber could deal with it.
Probably not. The sleigh that Santa Alta rides has been handmade by herself. She boasts that it's been assembled from ash trees, wood, while having a brave horse and lion as its image. But no matter how you look at it, it seems nothing but a hippopotamus. Its name is Laramie 2. Lamaray or 2, something like that. Jesus
Unfortunately, we do not get to see that.
Yeah. Well, you do get to see the sleigh. It's in a craft essence.
Is it?
Yeah, her craft essence. Hang on. Basically, this is the Bond craft essence you get.
That's why I've never seen it, because I never unlocked any of those.
Copy.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
It's not that it looks like a hippo, it's being pulled by hippos.
It's being pulled by hippos.
There's something wrong with these horses.
I don't know what's wrong with what happened to these horses. Anyway, the translation is, what a wonderful sleigh, and what a beautiful horse. Oh, on the day of Christmas has ended. In the dawning morning glow, Santa thinks. Will next year not come quicker for the 363 days out of an entire year to be meaningless? Humans are such sad creatures. But what she did not know, the true tragedy was imminent. Yes. Who said there was only one Santa?
Sequel hook.
Sequel hook.
And the final villain of this event actually was Jan Alter.
Yeah. Jan Alter was the final person.
And if I remember correctly, she was actually making like a bunch of French priests who burned her play Monopoly.
Yeah.
Or like their ghosts.
Yeah. Basically, what it was is what's
it's
else
that kind
is,
of event.
Yeah, what is also about these Christmas events in general, just like kind of like what happens. I don't know if it was this one that it happened with, or if it was the next one. But what Christmas events and Halloween events were to like sort of reveal a new servant that may show up in the storyline later, or just may just be added into the gacha. It's a toss-up. You get new people who just show up randomly for these events.
Actually, if I remember correctly, I think this was back when it was the Japanese version. I think this was when I got Nursery Rhyme and Marie Antoinette off of in one roll.
Yeah. Sounds right.
It was a good roll. I think I was talking to my friend Winter at the time.
But yes. But yeah, that's her whole shtick. She is Alter, and she's powerful, and why I hate. Hang on.
Hanging.
There we go. There you go.
Yes.
There you go. That's his whole Saber Alter stick. She's the sexy Santa Mama for you. Because the next...
She'll give you your present, but first you have to kiss her boots.
Yeah. First you have to praise her like the king she is. But anyway, we're gonna move on to the next Santa.
Someone I was actually pretty excited for until I learned that they were a kid.
Until you realized the full kit and caboodle what was going on with this character. Holy blade. So
yes, finally, I wanted Ruler Alter because she was a limited servant, and I had not gotten her when she was in the gacha. So it's like, oh cool, I'll just get this.
It's not just an Alter. It's an Alter Santa Lily.
This is significantly less sexy.
Yeah. Oh boy, let's not. Oh boy, so let's get on. So this story.
Not that she isn't precious.
She is a very precious character. She is a member of the group of children that hangs out in FGO. At this time, it was only Nursery Rhyme and Jack. She makes it a trio. Usually, all three of them show up. In fact, Alter Santa Lily shows up.
They actually meet in this event.
Yeah.
And befriend each other.
Yeah, Alter Santa Lily actually shows up in a lot of events outside of this, so she's kind of become more of a staple than the other Christmas servants, probably because of the weird phenomenon surrounding her.
Yeah, her whole thing is like, wait a second, you're not supposed to exist.
Yeah, so
and that's actually kind of a problem.
Yeah, that is kind of a problem about her existence. The story gets kind of sad at some points, and you're like, and she's like, yeah, and I'm gonna disappear at the end of Christmas, and you're like, oh, wait, what? And then
That's not good.
And then tears are shed, and through the power of your sadness, she survives. Probably because she's an Alter. Don't think too hard about it.
Because the protagonist said, fuck you, Destiny. I say she gets to stay.
Yeah.
Evidently, I guess this does make sense. Evidently this was the campaign where Ishtar was available.
Yes.
I actually got Ishtar off a ticket. Which was nice because I hadn't gotten anything from any of the previous events. I'm sorry. This whole thing is just going to be like, oh yeah, I got this really rare servant really easily. That's going to be the whole night.
Christmas! It was a Christmas present. Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways.
Yeah, I got it while I was at work.
Yeah. So anyway,
at work.
The whole story in general for this was we're gonna go around. She's gonna try to figure out the basics. She's gonna try to be Santa, not do a well job at it.
The gifts are just as bad, but there's less malice behind them.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just as bad as giving out presents as the last Santa. But also to make things hilarious is that Arturia is actually following her around the entire time, making sure she's doing okay.
Isn't this the event where Santum shows up?
Yes, I think Santum does show up in this one because there's a couple of. Because basically they were trying to give Santa Lily over here some I don't know what was they were like they set up the whole thing from what I understanding. Emiya and the other Shiro.
Yes, because Apocrypha Shiro was also involved.
Yeah, Apocrypha Shiro was involved in that situation. I believe he's the one who fed the potion to Alter to make her turn.
No, I think that she drank it herself. It didn't do what she thought it was going to do.
Let's see. I believe.
Like, this is the real hero of the event.
Yep, the real hero of the thing. I still don't understand why Padaru is fun, but I know why. It's because nobody watches the actual video of this happening. That's why Santa never caught on.
So disappointing. Yeah, it's like they only watched the first 5 seconds.
Yeah, normies. Yeah, normies. Normies. Alright, let me try to remember who was next. I think...
Was it... What's her name?
I think it's...
Altera?
Altera, yeah. Altera...
This was actually where This was basically around the time where I had left the Grand Order stage. Mostly because my iPad was broken. Because, 2019, that was the year I broke my iPad and never got it fixed.
2019. So this Santa is actually a little interesting because her personality is actually taken from Titan Altera, which only people who played Extella would know about.
Which I believe came out that year.
Yeah. So her personality is more around the Titan Altera's thing. She runs around with like a alien space sheep god.
Towards mustache.
And supposedly this event was one that kind of had a lot of I don't know if it was like hints towards other holiday events going forward or hints to what's gonna happen in the plotline going forward. But the sheep shows up again for a narrow, Gilgamesh, I believe, took over it at that point. Narrowfest got overtaken by Gilgamesh, spoiler alert.
Yeah. I remember that because there was a whole thing where it's like, pick your side.
Pretty much.
To the lore.
Yeah. But she was very cute. It was an underworld event. She had to go around and defeat stuff. This is where Eresh Kegel first became rollable in the gacha, which is, I believe, like this is where they first started to integrate the rollable servant into the plot line of the events going forward. I think, like maybe not this one specifically, but like.
So that Ishtar had nothing to do with the 2018 event.
Yeah, but Eresh Kegel was in the event. Basically, it was kind of to teach her how the meaning of Christmas was about. She's a Santa from space.
Or I need to find that one MST 3K thing. There it is.
Uh-oh, Santa got drunk and delivered all the presents to the moon again.
Ain't extra, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Although I guess it would be Stella in this case.
Yeah. Why is Santa wearing such skimpy outfit, you ask? You fool! It's because it's very hot. In the underworld.
Well, as we established before, she's going around the world so fast that the friction is so hot that it would cause a normal person to burn up and explode. Nobody wants a sweaty Santa. Christmas. It was the day that Santa discovered reindeer-powered flight.
Anyway, now that we've gone through 3 Santas, it's time for a short commercial break and talk about, hey, so there's this other thing in Fate Grand Order called an arcade that you can't play here in America. Unfortunately. And for that, they have their own goddamn Christmas characters. One of them is Helena Blackdevy, and the other is Frankenstein.
And Suzuka.
And Suzuka, huh?
Is that this year?
Maybe.
I can't tell.
I don't know. I forget how long arcade's been out.
Do you like Wolf Girls? Because here's your Wolf Girl Santa.
Here's your Wolf Girl Santa.
And let's see here.
Helena Blackdevy and Frankenstein. I believe
there it is.
Those are all of the.
There's Helena's. Evidently, Prototype Merlin is in this.
Yeah, Prototype Merlin is in the Fate arcade. Didn't where?
I probably was. It's just I don't think about the arcade version a lot.
I wish I could go to Japan so I could get some card prints of the thing, because you can print out the cards from the arcade. It costs a little bit.
Can't you just buy them off of eBay?
No, that's weird. I want to roll for them myself. Azure! I want to play the gambling of the game on my own.
I want to spend an incredible amount of money to get myself to Japan and pay for the hotel to stay there, and then I want to spend even more money so I can buy the servants.
Well, I don't know. I'm hilariously in a raffle to win two tickets to Japan.
I thought you were gonna say 2 chicken sandwiches
No,
for a second.
I'm in a raffle for 2 tickets to Japan that includes every state in the U.S. except for Rhode Island. And I'm like, what the fuck did Rhode Island do?
Rhode Island.
And they're like, that's such a weird state not to include. And it's more funny because it's like right next door to me. So I'm like, what did Rhode Island do?
But it did.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe everybody's going crazy over those Niji Sanji boys, huh? I don't know if you've seen them, Azure, but Niji Sanji English is rolling out their boys group finally, and I'm like, I don't understand.
I'm not even sure I know what Niji Sanji is.
Niji Sanji is a Hololive competitor.
Ah.
But they're rolling out boys.
That's illegal.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. But yeah, so there you go. Here's all of the Christmas servants that we will not be able to get in the mobile game because they have to have some exclusives on.
No wolf girls, no lolly grannies, and no zombies.
Yeah. Because
that's basically what all three of them are.
Yeah. Not for you. Can't have them because the arcade has to have some exclusives, so that way they make you come and pay big monies to play them. I don't even want to know how much money those arcade has racked up.
It's like, don't forget about trying to break into an ATM. Try to break into one of those arcade machines. It's like you read a story in Japan about a bulldozer going down the street with an FGO arcade machine in its bucket. All
right. Now Christmas is gonna start getting a little weird. If you thought Christmas was weird before, you fool! It was pretty normal until this point. So it's time to talk about Samba Santa. You heard me right. Samba Santa. So Quetzalcoatl misheard the word Santa and heard it as Samba. So, we've got a Quetzalcoatl in here, Santa.
It's gonna be a very raw Christmas.
I'm going to do my best to summarize this holiday event.
Samba Night, Holy Night.
Samba Night, Holy Night. I'm going to do my best to summarize this. So, in Mexico, a weird phenomenon started to happen. And because of that phenomenon, we needed to have a wrestling tournament. Yes, you heard me right. A wrestling tournament to decide who truly deserves to be Santa. Because Quetzalcoatl accidentally split herself into two parts. So, she has a black masked version of her running around along with her red masked version. Because, it's Lucha Libre, So, so it was a thing. And then next thing we know, the rollable servant shows up. And who is this? It's Bradamante. Who's Bradamante? Bradamante is a new... as we like to consider it, a new wrestling servant, more or less, but, thick thighs save lives.
That's basically all that servant has going for them.
Yeah. But
they were there to be the ass servant.
Yeah. But, she's, one of the Knights of Charlemagne, or rather, she is the, Bradamante is the, lover of one of the, Knights of Charlemagne. But supposedly she's a warrior knight in her own respective lore. So, oh, dem Charlemagne.
I apologize if this gets us demonetized.
Oh, Bradamante.
This is from her Noble Phantasm animation.
Yeah. Yeah. They let you go look right in there.
This is when they were starting to experiment more with camera angles in the Noble Phantasms.
Yeah, she was one of the first to have a little bit of a more dynamic stuff going on, which was what I think
Summer Nero did too.
Yeah. But she was one of the first where they were experimenting with properly using the camera to zoom in onto the model itself and then quote
unquote
yeah, properly because
it's respectful. It's respectful.
We're respectfully looking at her ass. I mean, what? I don't know what that means. Anyway, let's move on to the next Santa before I try to stare at this for too long.
I already am too late.
Oh no, it's...
I mean, you can keep on, but I'm not gonna be posting anything more. I'm just gonna be looking at this for the rest of the stream.
Alright, so now let's get
Where
to...
am I? Where was I just now?
You were about to talk about our next Santa, Nightingale. So this
Right.
is the... So this
I don't
is...
know about that servant.
So this is the Santa Christmas event that's going on right now in FGO. You can play and get this servant right now. So Nightingale, I haven't played through all of it yet because, you know, everything is locked behind time walls for Christmas events. But, so this is, she doesn't really understand why she's Santa Claus, but all she knows is she's gotta cure this Santa disease going on where everybody thinks they're Santa Claus.
He's got some serious, like, Mary Poppins meets John McClane vibes going on.
Oh yeah, she flies around with her umbrella and everything.
Which is a gun.
Yes, which is the gun that shoots syringes. It's a syringe gun.
I guess this is just proof that Die Hard is in fact a Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm. But she doesn't understand why she's Santa. She's just gonna do her usual self and get through this Santa event.
Is she still a berserker or is she something else?
No, she is an archer. Because gun. Gun equals archer. How many times do we have to tell you this about?
Hello! I'm sorry, I just saw her Final Ascension art.
Oh.
Oh my.
Mommy. I mean, what?
Hello?
Hello?
Nurse.
Hi. Hello. Mommy. What? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry.
Is this just
Mommy?
the US? Is this the US Christmas event that's going on right now, or is it the Japanese one?
Yeah, the US Christmas event that's going on right now.
So what's the Japanese one that's going on?
The Japanese one that's going on right now is Martha. But we're not there yet. We have one more Christmas to do. And this is a very, very special Santa who's coming up next. This is a very, very special Santa because as of right now, it's the only male Santa.
Right, I forgot about this.
The first good boy who actually, he's the first free servant for the reoccurring, the first male free servant for the reoccurring events that happen.
I'm waiting on you to announce, I'm just doing the drum roll. Announce and Cherry announce and
Karna!
Run it out of breath. Okay.
It's Karna, guys. It's hilarious because not
The
only is
whitest
he the
Indian
first,
on the planet.
yeah, he's the first good boy to get. So what I mean by first male reoccurring, he's not the first like male servant who's been free, but he's the first for the reoccurring events that happen in FGO.
Archer.
Yeah, Archer. They give you a lot of. He's a saber in this one. So Karna. Yeah, first male free Christmas. Well, currently the only male Christmas servant. So for example, Liz is always usually the Halloween servant. And then for summer events, there's whoever it is they decide to choose for that year. So he's our first good boy who got a holiday character. He also beats up all the other Santas. So
even Lily?
yes, even Lily. Well, according to this, actually, the difference in the ranks was no contest. Karna didn't fight at her. She just succeeded the ownership of her belt. She just gave up.
Just take it.
She's like, just take it. Just take it.
It's like I know what you were capable of from Apocrypha. I know that my ultra self saw what you were capable of. I'm not putting up with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because like isn't Karna like normally like stronger than Gilgamesh or as strong as Gilgamesh?
Karna is in the same class as Gilgamesh, I believe. He's at least one of the few servants who can naturally match him toe to toe. He's not like Nobunaga, who, because of her abilities, causes her to be able to beat up someone like Gilgamesh because she can just deny his existence. She's like, I don't really believe you're real.
Fake news.
Yeah. Pretty much, that's Nobunaga's abilities in a nutshell. But Karna is naturally able to take on Gilgamesh, more or less. Karna, I believe, is actually one of the more early servants who were creative too. I believe he was actually I believe he was mentioned that someone mentioned once upon a time that Karna was originally meant to be in Gilgamesh's place as an enemy in Stay Night. Of course, things change.
It's like, why would you make the best boy an enemy?
Well, that's because Karna is an enemy, actually, in his lore from the Mahabharata. Karna, actually, I believe he's supposed to represent in the story about how your enemies can actually be like virtuous people, even if they don't have the same beliefs and all of that stuff as you. So I think that's what they were going for in the story. I'm not sure because I've only read the notes of the Mahabharata. So because basically Karna gets killed by the hero, his half brother, Arjuna, in a very cheap shot way. There's like the rules of war or whatever that were supposed to like be followed in the case. Basically, while Arjuna he basically shot Karna in the back while he was taking care of something. So that's how he killed Karna.
Rude.
Yep, rude. Didn't even fight him fairly. To that day, it haunts him as a hero and all that stuff and blah blah. But anyway, so let's get back on to Karna. So Karna, as many people
said every woman ever.
Yeah. So Karna is actually one of the first Santas to make sense. And that's because of Karna's backstory as a hero of charity. Karna was a very virtuous person in life, even if he was on the enemy side, so to speak. He would like give stuff away to people should they ask him. And he would do it like of no like people would just ask him for things. He's like, sure, you can have the golden armor that is just like connected to my body. Here, I'll just like cut it off my skin. And we're like, oh no, but
oh, no, wait. regret.
But anyway, so, and basically as a Santa Claus, his hero of charity skill has been raised to EX rank. So there you go.
Makes sense.
Santa Claus, Karna. And let's go to our latest Santa who has just arrived. She's just arrived to bake you a home
This is another one that actually makes sense.
Yeah. She's just arrived to give you a home-cooked meal. And she's the one who makes the most sense so far.
I really think that she got pissed off at another Christmas event because people were getting Jesus' birthday wrong.
Yeah.
Martha!
Martha! Martha!
Everyone's favorite Dragon
Mom.
suplexing waifu.
Mm-hmm. In her noble phantasm, she uses Tarask as an oven.
Also, she looks to be holding what is the card captor wand in her hand.
It's a ladle.
I know, but it looks like it has the handle looks like it's from card captor Sakura.
Yeah, she has magic powers. That's how Tarask is an oven. He's a mobile oven now.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate for him.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, Saint Martha. Saint Martha is one of the characters in Fate Grand Order, or AKA the Christian Bible, who
They never found out where she was from.
she's,
Oh wow, they really like this poor dragon.
yes,
They fucking smudgered him.
yeah, he is now a mobile kitchen. She cooks you dinner. But anyway, so Martha is Martha of Bethany, supposedly. You know, he visits the house of two sisters named Mary and Martha. Martha was the no-nonsense sister who was like, Jesus was like, it's okay, she can sit and listen to my stories. And then Martha was like, no, Jesus, even if you're the Son of God, Mary still has work that needs to be done around the house. There is a time for worship and there's a time for work.
It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like it's like Jesus is like, okay, this bitch is the whole reason we had to put in a commandment about the Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
Because she would just be working nonstop if we didn't.
Yeah. But anyway, so Martha is one of the few people to personally know Jesus. Jesus also revived her brother because he was Jesus Christ. He can do that.
I remember that story from the Bible.
Yeah, it's in the Gospel of John. He's Martha and Mary's brother is one of the two. One of the two people I think that Jesus raises from the dead. You heard it here, folks.
So basically, she's Jesus's aunt, right?
No, basically she is Jesus's. No, not Mary, his mom.
Not Mary Magdalene.
Not Mary Magdalene either. It's a different Mary. She's there. That's where the 3 Hail Marys come from.
I didn't go to Bible school.
This is basic thing. There's 3 Marys in the Bible. That's why we have 3 Hail Marys. This is why we have 3 Hail Marys.
This is the first time I'm hearing this.
There are many Marys in the Bible.
You ever, like, you know how people joke about how, like, they'll say, like, the Virgin Mary in, like, a piece of toast? Do you ever think someone's like, oh, it's Mary, but it's not the right Mary, it's the other Mary?
Maybe. But anyway, Martha is a saint in the Roman Catholic Church. She kind of...
Those bastards who crucified Jesus.
Yeah. She kind of represents, housewives, I guess, sort of speaking. Because, you know, she made, like, feasts and stuff like that. There are some legends and myths surrounding them. One of them is how she subdued the Tarask.
You don't hear about that in the Bible. It's like, by the way, did we tell you the story of this one lady stopped a dragon?
It's a French story. It's like there's like extra stories about people from like different points. It's like this part's not in the Bible, but like this is some sort of like, you know, myth.
It's not in the official canon.
Maybe, I don't know. You know, like how people like are convinced certain people think exist and stuff. So like Saint Mary has a lot of stuff around her. I believe Martha is one of the more popular saints in like the Hispanic community and stuff like that.
See that?
in...
I mean, she also is a wrestler, as shown in other events.
If, like, for example, the way you pronounce Saint Martha in Spanish, I believe, would be Santa Marta, which is also, like, a place in Colombia. So...
Makes sense.
And that's why she's Santa, because you just say Santa Marta. Surprise, bitch. It all comes full circle!
It's like... it's like... Finally, anime has brought us back to Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
It had to happen eventually.
But yeah, that's where Santa actually probably comes from. Because, you know, well, it's the feminine way to say saint, but in Spanish you say Santa or Santo.
Yeah, Santa is absolutely the Spanish word for saint.
Yeah. So, there you go. Spanish 101. It's because it's derivative from a Latin word. Hello, Goodson. Hello, welcome to the stream. We're kind of getting close to the end though, because we've been talking about a lot of Santas.
We've run out of Santa Clauses.
Yeah, we run out of Santa Clauses to talk about, but we can run through them really quick if you want to hear about them again.
It's like, do you think that they're obligated by the Santa Claus?
I wonder if I don't know.
Do you think they had to kill one another in the last one standing gets to be Santa?
Well, that's what happened with Karna's event.
True.
So.
That event actually just was the Santa Claus.
Pretty much.
Just bless Tim Allen.
Yeah. Bless Tim Allen. Just more Santas beating each other up. Apparently Saint Martha is also younger now that I'm looking at her in this form.
I mean, she looks younger in this form than she does in, like, say, her summer event.
Yeah, she's definitely younger in this form.
So, it's like, I hate to, like, base it off of this, but her breasts are definitely a lot smaller.
Yeah, this is a Lily.
Yeah.
This is a Lily Marta now that I'm looking at her.
Probably.
I mean, she hasn't been Lily-fied.
It's like not like Lily as in like child, but like Lily as in like teenage.
Yeah. She hasn't been Lily-fied as much as certain other characters like Iskander and Alter.
Those cowards didn't have the balls to call him Iskander Lily. They just called him Alexander.
Yeah, they didn't have the balls to say Lily.
Just like they didn't have the balls to call it Gilgamesh Lily.
Yeah. But he's clearly a Lily. Why did you say Kid Gilgamesh? That's weird.
Isn't it Gilko is like the quote-unquote official term?
I think so. That's for Japanese.
Which makes it sound like he's a girl.
Well, that's because Ko is just a childish thing that's used for kids, I believe, a suffix they use.
Well, it's also like the name, like it's a feminine way of ending names.
Yeah.
Thank you for teaching me that.
Yep.
She's staring at me. It's very disconcerting.
That's all the Christmas events that have happened so far.
Woo.
What was your favorite Christmas event?
Let me think. Honestly, it was probably the very first one.
Yeah.
I mean, you're asking me. It's like, okay, which was my favorite of the two?
You have two choices.
I like the first one, and I think part of it was, well, again, it was the event where I got nursery rhyme and Marie Antoinette. And it was the event where, like, it was just a good grinding event for materials.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if I had to choose from a story perspective, I guess I kind of like the second one the best since I remember it. Ah! Oh my god, Zell crashed through the window. I think we need to give him medical aid.
Clean that up.
Look, Zell, just because you're an owl doesn't mean you can just fly into windows. I put a sign up and everything so that wouldn't happen.
Who?
Zell Road. He's an owl VTuber.
Who?
I thought it was open. Who? Who indeed? Who indeed?
Someone first.
Well, welcome to the end of my stream. We usually only go about for an hour anyway on these days, just because there's not much to talk about. I try to stay on target as best I can for these things. So now it's just a shooting the shit for a little bit. So how's been everybody's weekend? So, I mean, not weekend. It's not the weekend yet.
Friday.
It's Friday. How's everybody been doing so far?
My weekend almost didn't happen
Oh my
because
god.
of stupid work shit. Thankfully, we got it resolved before I left today.
Oh, thank God. I mean, I'm probably going to be working on Christmas Eve, so I understand. Because, you know, they gave us the stipulation of when we were working. It's like, yeah, you guys don't have to work on Christmas Eve because of the holiday, but only if we hit the numbers.
And one extra day is going to make you hit those numbers.
Apparently.
Well, I mean, when I worked in the, it's something that we're used to because we have both worked in the customer service industry.
Yeah.
And they do not take off Christmas Eve.
No, they don't. But I already have 8 hours in for that day, so they're supposed to give it to you off. But you know, they can choose not to. You know, fuckers. Anyway. Oh, hello, Mitsu. What's up? Yeah, why, who else would you be talking to? Unfortunately, I just can't rock the miniskirt like he can.
True, very true. Although my current avatar is also wearing a miniskirt. Because it's the only avatar I have.
I'm gonna work on it, I swear. I just need to sit down and do something. I've just been busy. Oh, I'm...
You were talking about me, weren't you, Mitsu?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Is it Mitsu or Miss2?
Miss2, Mitsu,
Miss2? Miss2?
Miss2, Mistai, Mysterio, Mysterion.
Mysterio? He's dead.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I need to get tickets for the next Spider-Man movie.
Spider-Man!
Did you see that they announced that like two movies for Spider-Verse?
No, I did not see that. What?
Yeah, not only did they announce the next movie, they announced it was going to be a part 1.
What? That's okay. I like the animation industry anyway, so I'm full for it. Since they're the first people who have tried to be creative for a change, so because
you're not wrong.
Because all of the fucking Disney movies are the goddamn same. Like, I really wanted to like Encanto, but Encanto was so fucking boring. Like, ooh, it's a bunch of people with superpowers. there was no, like, epic journey or anything in this movie. Like, they really lowballed this movie, I'm just saying. But, you know, everybody's keen to their opinions. If people did like Encanto, good for them.
I have not seen it. I cannot have an opinion on it.
But, you know, like I've said to people before, maybe my main reason for not liking Encanto was the fact that people started singing over each other at different times. And I'm like, oh, so it's like a real Hispanic fan. I get it, okay.
A little too close to home?
A little too close to home. It's also overwhelming. It's like I couldn't understand what half of the people were saying half of the time. Because, you know, they were talking.
It reminds me a lot of the anime Devil is a Part-Timer. I love it, but, like, you gotta watch it with subtitles because they are constantly talking over each other.
So I was like, what the frick is happening? I mean, it was just too much of, ooh, okay, we sang this one song with this one character. All right, we got to move over to the next characters. We got to make sure that everybody gets a part in this song. All right, time for another song. And I'm like, it felt like it was more just a collection of songs than an actual coherent story, in my opinion. I was just not engaged. I wanted to like it. I did. Because it's been a while since Disney put out something new. But it was dreadfully not interesting, in my opinion. It's probably just because Superpowers has been done before, so it's just like, oh, it's just them trying to figure out an interpersonal problem in the family. And I'm like...
I mean, basically the only reason anyone's even going to the new Spider-Man movie is just to A, see the old villains, and B, see if the old Spider-Man show up. I haven't seen it yet, do not tell me.
I don't know, I haven't seen any of the new Avengers stuff. Azure, I don't care anymore about Avengers. Iron Man is dead. The series is over. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, honestly, it kind of should be.
Yeah.
It's like they're not going to top what they did with the Infinity War.
The series is over, and I'm not really interested in anything they may do with Captain Marvel, so... She is like a piece of toast, guys. A piece of unbuttered toast.
I am curious to see where the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie goes.
Like, that's like my only interesting one, because that's the only one that I need to see tie up, I guess. But at the same time, I'm like, what the fuck are they gonna do with it? The original Gamora is dead, so...
I mean, it's a comic book movie. Death in comic books is like death in Dragon Ball. It doesn't have to stick.
I know, but what are they gonna do? Are they gonna input the old Gamora's memories into the new Gamora? Is that how they're gonna get around this?
I don't know.
Because she's from a different timeline.
I mean, no, it's not the same.
No, it's not the same Gamora.
Well, I thought it was the same director who did Infinity War, but it's like, no, wait, that's completely wrong.
But anyway, we're now off topic and we're just rambling about stuff.
Which means it's time to close up for the night.
Yeah, it's time to close up for the night. Nobody wants to hear our stinky opinions about Infinity War.
Rewrite is now on Steam. Go buy it.
Oh, I hear that's actually a pretty good visual novel. Who did I hear that from? Oh wait, it was you!
I was about to say. It's like, you probably heard that from me. Now, hold on a second. I know that I didn't say that to you because I have never said that it was a good visual novel.
I'm probably just paraphrasing.
It was a guilty pleasure.
I'm probably just paraphrasing. Alright, let's raid Miko. Alright, go enjoy this lewd box cat person. If she tries to solicit you for anything, say no. Remember your boundaries, guys. Okay, have a good one, guys. Bye! Azure, say bye.
Anara.
Okay, there we go.
I did it. Emma did not pick me up. Curses.
Alright. And